Thanks a lot for the question. Indeed, we have a long legacy with working together with the OEMs in the automotive sector to bring forward, to boost automated systems. But our real-time database is allowing much more than focusing only on mobility and automotive. It's going far behind, and literally every kind of industry can benefit from location intelligence and real-time information. So it's clearly more than only mobility in that sense.
To achieve the Paris Agreement, which means to be CO2 neutral or to have a CO2 neutral mobility till the middle of this decade, we try to do everything that is technological possible. We are investing a lot into electric mobility, which is one key pillar, battery-driven e-mobility. But on the other side, we also have to make improvements on the combustion engine which will be necessary also for different parts of transportation. And especially if you have the combustion engine combined with synthetic fuels, we can reach the target of a CO2-free mobility. But what comes into, what we have to take into consideration is that it is not the e-mobility itself or the improved combustion engine. We always have to think in an integrated, holistic approach that an e-car only makes sense if you have renewable energy. And at the same time, the combustion engine is not a problem if you have CO2-free fuels, for example. And therefore, in order to meet the Paris Agreement, to be CO2 neutral till the middle of this century, we need both. We need renewable energy and we need the technology on the streets. And we hope that we manage everything within the car industry to reach these goals.
So I think three things will be very important for the future of public transport. Number one, it will be highly individualized, highly flexible, and as comfortable as your own private car. I think that is the most important mission of cities, of regulators and public transport operators, that they provide services to the citizens that allow a reduction of private cars, and that will only be achieved if the service is as comfortable as the private car. Secondly, the public transport system will be the focal integrator. They run the buses, they run the subways, the tramways, and they will need to connect intermodally with all new sorts of shared mobility that bring people from A to B, and in the future, obviously, autonomous vehicles that are then shared. And thirdly, the role will be also to integrate private sector players into such systems, so that we will see very fruitful public-private partnerships to happen. However, we will certainly see a renaissance of public transport operators, not only, let's say, driving around the last corner in the city, but being in the center and being a core mobility provider for citizens in the city, providing a transport as comfortable as their own private car.